Therefore, I can't go with each and every one.
Recording in progress.
Yes, your name and where do you come from, right? And you are familiar with any programming language, right? That's the thing I wanted to know. You just type the within the one statement, right? One statement means within the one line you just type it and enter it. If not, what will happen is your name is top of the chat window and the other thing is down, right? Not familiar with any programming language. Yes, very good. Yes, I am Sajini. And what about others? Try to communicate with me, right? Don't stay without talking anything, right? Don't be idle, right? Just talk with me. It's okay. It's totally okay. Okay, your name and yes, here we have. I'm not familiar with any programming language. Then Igambo and know some Java and the C Sharp. Yes, very good. And Isuru and from Ratnapura. Yes, very good. And I can see a lot of names here, right? But I can't see where do you come from and the familiarity of the your programming language. I can't see, right? Two or three student mentioned like that, but I wanted to get the feedback from each and everyone, right? But at the same time, I wanted to tell you, if you are familiar with any programming language, right? If you are familiar with the like Java or something, right? You can do with any programming language, right? Therefore you need to uh, clearly understand the one of the programming language, right? Then you can easily uh, understand the Python and everything, right? Therefore try to understand the basic thing. Yeah, around the Sri Lanka, right? Lot of students are there, right? Someone are in the Kaduata, someone are in the Matara. It's very good. And some are in the Kandy. Yes, all right. And Ratnapura. I'm familiar with the Python language. Okay. My name is, yeah, Morotua. No. But most of the students are not familiar with any programming language, right? Yes. Uh, yeah. Whatever the programming language you are going to learn, right? The basic thing you need to know, basic concept you need to know, right? I will try to start with that things, right? Uh, I think that is better, right? Ratnapura, yes. Not right. If you know the one of the programming language, you can easily learn the other programming language easily. Right. Okay. I think I have to go with the in the beginning, right? I think you all of you are joining the first lecture, right? First day school one, but I will try to start in the beginning, right? Because you need to know the basic concept, right? Right. Okay. I will ask some one question, right? I will ask one question, right? You can use the chat window, right? You can use the chat window and type I wanted to know from your side, right? I wanted to know. You can unmute and you can talk, right? Or you can type here, right? The one thing I wanted to know, what is the variable, right? The basic thing, if you are going to learn the programming language, the basic thing is you need to know the what is the variable, right? You have to know the what is the variable. Then you need to know the how to assign the value for a variable, right? How to declare the variable, how to assign the value for a variable, and what are the data type. Likewise, you need to know the basic thing, right? Then you need to know the if condition, right? Then you need to know the while loop, do while loop, for loop. Likewise, you need to know the basic concept, basic thing, whatever the programming language, right? Whatever the programming language you are going to learn, the basic thing you need to know, right? Variable is same thing, right? Data type is the same thing, right? Therefore, whatever the programming language you are going to learn, right, you need to know the these things, right? First thing is what is the variable, right? First you need to understand what is the variable and data type, right? You need to know the data type and the variable, right? First tell me what is the variable. Any one of the in this class you can unmute and you can talk, right? We will go with the in the beginning, right? uh, Tell me, I think we have 3 hours, right? If I leave suddenly, right, wait some minutes, right? Because there is a power cut sometimes, right? There's a power cut, therefore wait in the waiting room like 10 or 15 minutes, right? I will try to come uh, back, right? Okay, go ahead and start typing what is the variable and what are the data type, just tell me quickly, right? You can use the chat window, right? If not, you can unmute and you can talk directly with me, right? I think it's better if you can unmute and you can if you can talk with me. It's okay, it's totally okay, right? Whatever the language you speak, you can talk, right? No need to speak in single, no need to speak in English, right? If you are convenient with the singular, go ahead, it's okay, it's totally okay, right? uh, just go ahead and tell me what is the variable first before we start the programming language, right? First thing is we need to know the variable and the data types, right? I think if you are start with the basic thing, it's better, right? Just type it, what is the variable. If someone asks what is the variable, what is your answer, right? Tell me, any idea? Okay, I think I have I will share my screen first. Hmm, I will share my screen. All right, I hope you can see my screen, right? Can you see my screen? I hope you can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Very good. Okay, right. Okay, here we have one answer, a memory location. Yeah, variable is a allocation location in the random access memory. Yes, good answer, right? A memory location, a variable is an allocate location in the random access memory. Okay, any other answers? Here we have my 30 student are there, right? Here we have a 32, right? Here we have a 32 student is there, right? I needed 30 answers, right? Whatever the answer you have with you, right? Just let me know. It's totally okay, right? It's totally okay. uh, in programming, a variable is a storage location from a value that can be changed during the execution of the program. Variable have a name, a type, a value, the value of the. Don't copy paste from the internet, right? I just want your name, right? I don't know whether this is copy from the internet or not, right? It's totally okay if you are right. If you write this one, is totally okay, but I just wanted to know your answer, right? Don't copy from the internet, right? Just remember that, right? It's okay, it's totally okay, you are don't know, no, right? Therefore it's totally okay, just right. I just wanted to know your knowledge, right? Not the copy from the internet and the paste, right? Because you need to clearly understand everything, right? That's why I'm telling here, right? Don't copy from the internet, right? I just wanted to figure out what is your knowledge level, right? Then only I can move forward, right? If you don't know the variable, if you don't know the data types, right, we can't move forward, right? First thing is that is the basic thing, right? That basic thing you need to know, right? Therefore it's totally okay, totally okay. I think you don't know, right? I just wanted to know your things, right? If you can unmute and you can talk, it's better, right? More than this, right? Okay, any other answers? Variable, right? Okay, just simple, right? Why do we use a uh, an entity that take and different values, it can be changed, right? You are giving me the different answers, right? You are giving me a different answers, right? But you need to have the idea about this in your mind, right? What is that? Variable is an integer or character of any things that can be changed according to the v program. Okay, right. Okay, just tell me, why do you use a water bottle actually, right? Why do you use a water bottle? Normally your water bottle used for a fill the water, right? Normally you use the space, right? Water bottle used for a fill the water, right? Likewise, normally we deal with the numbers, data within the computer, right? We deal with the data, right? Then we need to have some place, space, right? When we do some programming, right, we deal with the data now, right? We deal with the data. That data we need to save within some place. We need to have a space, right? We need to have a space, right? Okay, if I use a paint, right, I will open the paint. I hope you can see the my screen also, right? The paint screen, can you see it? I think you can see it, right? Is it visible for you? I hope it's visible. Yeah, okay, right. Okay, variable contain the storing data. Okay, okay, I will go with the simple example, right? I will draw this very quickly. I will draw it, right? Assume here we have a RAM. Okay, I think you know what is the RAM, right? You know what is the RAM. RAM is a random access memory, right? RAM is a random access memory, right? Within the, okay, if you want to add, okay, just you are going to write a program, right? You are going to, okay, before that tell me, okay, what are the programming language you know up to this level? What are the programming language you know? If I open the your chat, we'll see what are the programming language you know. Just tell me, just type here, what are the programming language you know up to this point? I think you know, right? What are the programming language? Here some student are mentioned here some programming language also. Okay, up to your knowledge, what are the programming language you know? Okay, here we have a three programming language, right? JavaScript, right? C plus, C plus plus, not the C plus only, right? It should be a C plus plus, two double plus, right? C and two C plus plus, right? C plus plus, and the HTML and the CSS and the JavaScript. Here you need to remember, right? You need to remember, if you want to become a front-end engineer, right? If you want to become a front-end engineer, right? A front-end developer, right? You need to know the basic thing is HTML, right? You need to know the basic thing is a HTML, and you need to know the CSS, right? Normally HTML used for a like a web page, develop the web page, right? We will develop the web page, right? After that, right, if you want to some give some styles, right, give some styles and increase the font size, decrease the font size, right? Likewise, if you want to do some style things, right, you can go with the CSS, right? HTML and the CSS and the JavaScript you need to know. If you want to become a front-end engineer, right, you need to know the basic three languages, right? What are the three languages you need to know? HTML, CSS and the JavaScript, right? These are the three basic language you need to know, right? If you are, want to become a like a some normally when we develop the website, right, when we develop the website, these are the basic three languages we normally use, right? HTML, CSS and the JavaScript. Nowadays we have a different framework like uh, React.js, right? We can use the React.js. Likewise we have a many framework, right? You can go with that React.js also, right? And okay, also if you want to develop a normal like a normal software, right, you can go with the Java, right? You can go with the C, right? You can go with the C plus plus, right? Also you can use Python, right? C sharp, right? Likewise we have a many programming language, right? Here we have some answers, right? Okay, we have a C and C plus plus, Java and the C sharp, right? And the Java, C sharp and C plus plus and the Python. Yes, these are the programming language actually, right? Why do we use a programming language? Normally programming language for a develop the software, right? Normally we use the programming language for a develop the software, right? Here we have a software, I think you already know. We have a different two type. Basically we have a two type of software: system software and the application software, right? System software and the application software. You can say the system software as starting from the Windows 95, right, as a system software, right? System software, we can say Windows 95, 97, 98, right, 2000, right, me, right, Windows 7, right, Windows 8, Windows 8.1, like we have a operating system, right? It's a system software. And if I go for a uh, application software, we have many application software, right? You can say WhatsApp, Viber, right, MS Office package, right, Photoshop, right, Audacity, Movie Maker. Likewise, we have many uh, application software, right? If you want to develop software, right, if you want to develop software, normally we can use the programming language. Here we have answers, right? You can, if you want to develop an application app, right, software, right, you can go with the Java, C++, right, and the C sharp, Python, whatever the language, right? Now, whatever the language you wanted to, right, you can go with the that language, right? It's up to you, right? And that is the programming language, right? If I go with the uh, what is that, if you want to, okay, I told you, I want, we first thing is we wanted to know the variable, right? First thing is we wanted to know the variable. Like, just assume, right, you need to write a program, right? You need to write a program for a add just a simple thing, right? Just a simple, right? Okay, you wanted to write a program, right? You wanted to write a program to get the output, right? For a get the output as 2, right? You need to get the output as 2, right? You are going to give the input as two numbers, right? You are going to give the input as two number, then you need to get the total, right? This is the input 1, right? Here we have a input 1, right? This is the input 1, and here we have a input 2, right? Okay, and this is the total, right? This is the total, right? You are going to give the input 1 as this one, right? You are going to give the input 2 as this number, right? You have a 2 input, right? You have a 2 input, then you need to get the total as 2, right? Total as 2, right? Here we have a 1, and here we have another 1, right? We need to add 2 together, and we need to display the total, right? You need to write a program, right? You need to write a program to get the this total, right? We have a 1, and here we have a 1, right? Here we have a 2 input, right? Here we have 2 input, right? After we give the input to the computer, right, after we give the this input, here we have a data, right? 1 is a data, and here we have a data, right? After we give these two input into the computer, right, we need to have a place to keep these values, right? We need to have a place, right? Like I told you, we normally use the water bottle for a fill the water, right? Water bottle, why do you use? For a fill the water. Likewise, after we give the input to the computer, right, after we give the input to the computer, we need to have a place, right? We need to have a place for a keep these data, right? It means first we have to input one, right, and again we have to input another one, right? Then we wanted to add together these two input, and we need to get the total, right? When we insert the data into the computer, we need to have a place, right? We need to have a place, right? That place we call actually as a variable, right? Okay, within the variable, for a keep the data, we make a small space, right? Within the within the RAM, right, we make a small spaces, right? Within the variable, within the RAM, we make a small spaces, memory location, right? Space, right? We need a space for a save the data, right? We need to have a some space for a save the data, right? We call it as a variable, right? You just need to remember that, right? Within the RAM, in order to save the data, keep the data, we need to have a place, right? We need to have a place. Using this place, we can save the data, right? It's mean when we insert the input one, right? When we insert the input one, we have to take this one, and we have to put into the first memory location, right? This is the variable one, right? We can call it as a variable, right? We can call it as a variable, right? This is the variable one, right? Here we have another variable, right? Here we have another variable, right? First, when we insert the first value, right, we have to get this first value and we have to put into the variable one, right? And the second one, right, we have to take from the input. You can use the your keyboard for input the data, right? Then we have to put into the another variable. I told you, right? I told you we need a variable for a keep the data, right? Keep the variable, keep the data. First we have to take that. Just assume we are going to take the input from the keyboard, right? We are going to take the one from the keyboard and we are going to save it within the variable, right? We take the data from the keyboard, right, and we save it, right? Here we have now 1, right? And we take the second value from the keyboard and we have to save it within the variable 2, right? Then after that, right, we have to add the variable 1 and variable 2 add together, right? Then we can assign that value to the variable 3, right? 1 plus 1, what is the value? 1 plus 1, it's become 2, right? It's become 2. We have to add 1 and 1 together and we have to save within the variable 3, right? We have to save it within the variable 3, right? Here you can see, right, when we take some value from the keyboard, right, after we take the some value from the keyboard, right, we need to have a place for a save the data, right? Normally when we run the program, normally we give some input from the computer, right? Then we need to have a place, right? Within that within the variable we can save the data. We call it as a variable, right? You can consider it as a small box, right? Small space, right? Some location within the RAM, right? Within the RAM we can make a variable, right? I hope it's clear. The variable, is it clear? Do Should I repeat it? The variable, is it clear?
It's clear, sir.
Okay, what about others? I got only one answer. What about others? Variable, the basic thing, whatever the programming language you are going to learn, right, this is the basic thing you need to know, the variable, right? Variable, is it clear? Here we have a 30 student, right? I hope before the, if you are joining with the day school one, you got to know it, right? You know it, right? I wanted to draw it and I wanted to show it, right? Clear picture. All right, okay, very good, right? It's clear, right? Okay, I will tell you now one thing, right? You guys need to tell me, right? I have 3 values, right? Here we have 1. Okay, give me 1 second. Right, here we have 1. I will use the red color. Here we have 1, and here we have a 2, and here we have a 3. All right, okay. The result should be, total should be what is that, 6, right? Okay, I want to write a program, right? I want to write a program for a get the total as 6, right? In order to get the output as 6, right, how many variable do we need? Right, here we have a input 1, right? I will mention it input, I will mention as I, right? Input 1, I1, right? Input 1, I will mention as input 1. Why can't I change the color? Right, I1. Why is not changing the color? Yeah, it's okay. Okay, input 1, right? Here we have input 1. Here we have a input 2, right? Here we have a input 3, right? Just tell me how many variable do we need for a, and here we have a last one, total, right? Okay, just mention it, how many variable do we need? I want to calculate, these three numbers, right? And we are going to give the input 1, input 2, input 3, and I want to get the total. I wanted to know how many variable do we need in order to get the output as 6, right? This is the basic thing, right? This is the basic thing, very easy, right? How many variable do we need? All right, clear. Okay, look at clearly, look at carefully and tell me. I am going to give the 1, 2 and 3 from the keyboard. Then I wanted to calculate the total, right? How many variable do we need in order to get the total as 6? Any idea? Don't think about the answers twice, right? If you know some answers, right, please give it to me, right? It's totally okay, right? If you know the answer, right? Very good. 5 variables. Why 5? Right, okay. And the other answers, lot of students are saying me 4. Right. We can do it with 2. How can we do with the 2? Okay. Uh, I think, yeah, I think, right? How can we do with the 2 variable? There's a problem. If you can explain it to me, it's totally okay. I'm not blaming no anything for you, right? Very good for answer, but I can't figure out. 4 is, I think, my answer is also 4, right? Therefore, I can go with the 4. I don't know 5, right? I don't know with the 5, right? I don't know with the 2, right? If you can give me the explanation for 2 and the 4, 4, 2 and the 5, right? Just go ahead and tell me. It's totally okay if you don't know the answer. It's totally okay, ignore it, right? It's totally okay, ignore it. I just wanted to know, that's it, right? All right, okay. 4, lot of students are saying 4. Yes, answer should be 4, right? I will draw it quickly. Right, okay, how many variable do we need for this calculation, right? Okay, for a input 1 we need a one variable. For a input 2 we need another variable. All right, right, right. For a input 3 we need another variable, and after we add all the variables values, right, we need another place as a total, right? We need another variable. It means we need to take the 1 from the input 1, right, and we have to put into the variable 1, and we have to take the input 2, right, and we have to assign into the variable 2, right, and we have to take the this number input 3, and we have to save, we have to keep, actually, right, we have to keep it within the variable 3, right? Okay, I will mention here, this is variable 1, variable 1, right, and this is variable 2, and this is variable 3, right? This is a variable 3. Then we have to add all the things together, right? We have to add all the things together, right? So all things together mean variable 1 we have to add, right? We have to add variable 2 and variable 3 all together, right? Within the variable 1 we have now 1, right? Within the variable 2 we have a 3, not the 3, 2, and within the variable 3 we have a 3, right? After we add all the variable together, right, answer should be 6, right? Right, answer should be 6, right? Then we can save within the variable 4, right? It's mean we need to have a 4 variable, right? We need to have a 4 variable if you want to calculate, if you want to add this input, and if you want to get the output as 6, right, we need to have a 6 variable, right? The answer should be 4, right? Answer should be 4, right? Okay, if I go with the another example, right, I want, right, 1 minus 3, not the 1 minus, okay, we'll go for a 9 minus 3, right? I want to get the output as 6, right? Now tell me how many variable do we need for this one? I want to 9 minus 3 9 I wanted to subtract 3 from 9. How many variables do we need? Right, 3 variables, one for hold the first value and the second for the get the value and the sum with the first one. Okay, sometimes, right, one for variable for hold the first value and the second for the get the values and sum with the first one. Yes, okay, answer should be correct, right? Okay, right, this way also you can do, right? This way also you can do, right? Better answer, right? But the basic thing, right, if you go for a at the basic, right, we need a 4, right? This is answer also correct, right? We can hold the value within the another variable, some variable. Yes, very good, Puta. Yeah, very good, right? You can do it this way also, right? We can keep the one value within the another, same we can use the without duplicating the variable, we can keep the some variable. Yes, very good, right? This way also we can do, right? Very good, right? I think within two variables. Yes, very good, Buddha. Okay, that way also possible, right? All right, okay, answer will be 3, right? We will go with the basic thing, right? Okay, all right, okay. And I hope it's clear, right? I hope it's clear variable, right? I hope the variable thing is very clear. All right, now, right, okay, now you need to know some data types, right? Within the uh, within the when we do the Python programming, right? When we do the Python programming, you no need to mention the uh, data type, right? Actually, you don't need to mention the data type. But if you have do with the programming with the C++, C, right, and Java, C sharp, you wanted to mention the data type, right? You wanted to mention the data type, right? Okay, assume we have a variable, right? Assume we have a variable, okay, within the memory, right? We have a variable. I am calling it to, right? I have given the name as number one, right? Just assume, right? Number one, the variable, right? Variable name is number one. I have given the name for a this variable, right? මෙතන මේ පොඩි ස්පේස් එකට අපි කියන්නේ variable එකක් කියලා, right? I have given the name as variable, number one, right? Number one, I have given the name as number one to this variable, right? Number one, right? Okay, I am going to create a variable, right? Here we have a variable and I am going to give the name as for a variable name, right? Number 2. You can give the variable name whatever the name you want, right? It's up to you, right? It's up to you. You can give the whatever the name for a variable, right? It's up to you. You can give the whatever the name for a variable name. මේ කොටුවට දෙන නමට අපි කියන්නේ variable name එක කියලා, right? මේ කොටුවකට, right? You can give the, if you want to give the your name for a variable name, you can give it, right? You can give it, right? Now I am going to talk about, right? Okay, just assume now you know the variable, right? You know the variable. Now I am going to discuss about the data type, right? Data type, right? This is very important, right? This is very important. uh, when we do the programming with the Python, you don't need to mention it, the data type, right? The variable name only enough, right? Variable name only enough, right? Okay, assume I am going to do the program with the Java, right? I am going to do the program with the Java, right? Just assume here we have a Python, right? Right, just assume, okay, we'll finish the Java things, right? If you are doing the program with the Java, first thing is you need to mention the data type. Remember that, right? Data type, right? First thing is you need to mention the data type, right? After that, right, you have to mention the, right, variable name. First part is a data type, second part is variable name, and the last part is value, right? Right, I will do with the program, don't worry, right? I just wanted to tell you there's a two parts, three parts, right? If you are go with the Java, right? First should be data type, right? First part should be the data type, and the second part should be a variable name and the value. All right, okay. If you are go with the Java, right? Okay, I will tell you what are the data type we have, right? We have int, right? We have a int data type is there, and also we have a float, right? Float data type is there, right? And also we have a string data type is there, and we have char, right? Just remember, here we have four type of data, right? Here we have a four type of data, right? Integer we have, float we have, string we have, char we have it, right? Integer, float, string, and the char, right? I will tell you what is the data type. Why do we need to mention the data type, right? Assume if you are going to put a value into this variable 10, right? Your input is 10, right? Assume your input is 10, right? If you are going to input as a 10, you need to mention, right, data type as int, right? First thing is you need to mention the data type as a int, right? Data type as int. If you are going to put the this way, right, you have to mention the number data type, and the number one is a variable name and the value, right? Right, okay. Here we have a data type. First part I told you, right? The first part, right? This is the first part, data type, right? Data type and the variable name, right? And the value, right? This is how, when we write the program, this is how we create the variable inside the RAM. This is the way how we create the variable inside the RAM, right? Here we have a data type, here we have variable name and the value, right? You need to remember the four part. If you are going with the Java, I still didn't come to the Python, right? Just remember the basic thing, just remember, right? Here we have a int, and here we have a variable name, and here we have a value, right? Okay, and I told you, right, if you wanted to put as 10 within the variable, you have to mention as data type as int, right? Just assume you wanted to put into this variable, right? Assume we will remove it, right? If you wanted to put value as 10.5 or something, 10.5 or something into this variable, right? 10.5 or something, then you have to mention data type as float. Remember that, right? Float, and number 1 equal 10.5, right? Just remember the way how we assign the value. Assign means we put in the value. If you have a equal mark, right? Here we have a equal mark, right? Here we have a equal mark, right? Here we have equal mark. Your right hand side we have a 10.5, right? Your right hand side we have a 10.5. This 10.5 we put into the this variable, right? If you have a equal mark means your right hand side value put into the this variable. Equal means that assign value. Assign value means we are putting the value into the variable, right? Here 10.5 is within the variable, right? Within the variable we have a 10.5, right? I told you why do we need a data type. Before we put the value into the variable, we have to mention what type of data we are going to put into the variable, right? I think you know now. Here we have a two type of their data, right? Integer data we have, float data we have, right? Integer data we have, float data, float type data we have it, right? If we have a decimal places, right? If we have a decimal places, we have to go with the float, right? If you are go with the decimal places, we have to use the data type as float. If you don't have a decimal places like a 10, like a 15, like a 20, like a 33, likewise if you have a data, some values, we have to go with the float, not the float, integer, right? Integer should be there. If you don't have the floating point, we have to use the integer as a data type. Okay, just assume, okay, another data type, right? Assume we have a variable, right? Here we have variable. Within the variable, I wanted to put a open university Sri Lanka, right? I want to put this value, right? I want to put this value, right? Assume this is uni name, right? I am going to mention variable name as uni uh, uni name, university name, right? All the variables should be start with the simple letter. Remember that one point, right? Variable name should start with the simple letter. Remember that we can't go with the capital letters, right? Variable name should be start with the simple letter. Here we have n, right? Simple letter. And here uni name, right? This should be n, m, right? M, uni name, right? I have given the name as this variable as what? Uni name, right? This is how we declare and assign the value, right? Okay, I will type here. Okay, I want to remove this part, I want the space, right? I am going to give the okay, the data type should be within this variable. What we have, open university Sri Lanka, right? OUSL, right? Therefore the data type should be string. Variable name is uni name. You can give the whatever the name you want, right? Equal, and here we have to mention the open university Sri Lanka, right? This is how we assign the value, right? This is how we assign the value. I told you, right? I told you assign value means we are putting the value, right? We are putting the value. Now you can see clearly here we have a three type of data, right? Here we have a three type of data. Integer, right? First one is a integer, right? First one is a integer, right? We have a data types. Variable name, it means the data type means lamai, uh, before we put the value, some value, before we put the some value into the variable, right? Before we put some value into the variable, we have to mention actually what type of data we are going to put into the variable. What type? It can be an integer value. Integer means what? Without decimal places. It can be a float. Float means we have a decimal places. Float decimal places means we have 10.5, 9.5, 15.5, likewise, right? And if we have like a name, like your name, like your university name, like your address, like if we have a name, we have to go with the string, right? We have to go with the string. These are the data type, right? These are the data types you need to know basically, right? Just remember that. I think it's clear now. We have a variable, we have a data types, right? Before we put the value into the variable, I think you know the variable, right? Before we put the value into the variable, we have to mention what type of data we are going to put into the variable, right? That is the data type, right? And here if we are using the Java, right, we have to mention the data type, right? We have to mention the data type. If we are going with the Python, right, if you are do the programming with the Python, no need to mention the data types, right? No need to mention the data type, right? You just need to remember, right? You just need to remember, you just need to mention the only, right? You just need to remember the only thing, right? You have to mention the variable name only, right? No need to mention the data type. No need to mention the data type. Here we have, when we do with the javascript, C sharp, C++, right, we have to mention the data types, right? That's why Python is very easy. No need to mention the data type, right? No need to mention the data type within the Python, right? But you have to remember, right? You need to know what are the data type. You need to know, right? If not, you can't do the programming, right? That's why I told you how to what is the data type. right? That's why I told you what is the data type, right? Now you know, right, what is the variable, what is the data type. And one thing you need to know, right, one thing you need to know, right? Okay, when you do the Python, right, when you do the Python, you don't need to mention the data type part, right? I will remove this one, right? When we declare the variable and assign the value, what is declare? What is a declare mean? Right? Declare means only we create the variable without value, right? Declare කරනවා කියලා කියන්නේ variable එකක් හදනවා, ඒක ඇතුළට value එකක් දාන්නේ නැහැ. මතක තියාගන්න, declare කරනවා කියලා කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? variable එකක් හදනවා, ඒකට value එකක් දාන්නේ නැහැ. right? මතක තියාගන්න. Declare and assign. Assign means, right, assign means if you have put the value, if you have put the value into the variable, we call it as a assign, right? We call it as a assign. Here we have a 10.5 for a number one variable. We assign 10.5 into the number one variable. We assign here, we assign 10 into the number one variable, 10 only, right? This is called as assign, right? We call it as assign, right? If you put the value into the variable, we call it as a assign, right? We call it as a assign. Now let me know, right? Is it clear? Variable and the data type, is it clear? Okay, now tell me, is it clear? Variable and data type, we will do the some small program, right? Just tell me, just let me know, is it clear? Data types and the variable, if you want to go with the, it is clear. What about others? Here we have 28 students, right? Please try to respond me, right? Okay, එතකොට මම කියන්න variable එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ memory එකේ, computer memory එකේ, RAM එකේ, random access memory එකේ හදාගන්න පොඩි space එකකට අපි කියනවා variable එකක් කියලා. මේ කොටුවකට අපි කියනවා variable එකක් කියලා. හරි? එතකොට මේ data type එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ අපි value එකක් මේ variable එකට දාන්න කලින් computer එකට කියන්න ඕන අපි මොන විදිහේ data එකක්ද දාන්නේ. අපි integer value එකක්ද දාන්නේ, අපි float value එකක්ද දාන්නේ, මොකක්ද කියන එක කියන්න ඕන. හරි, අපි 10.5 දානවා නම් අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම කම්පියුටරට කියනවා මේක ෆ්ලෝට් එකක්. හරි, එතකොට මම නමක් දානවා නම් මේක ඇවිල්ලා ස්ට්‍රින් එකක්. ඒ විදිහට අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම අපි කියන්න ඕන. right? ඒක තමයි variable and data type කියලා කියන්නේ. right? I hope it's clear, right? What about others? I'm not getting the response from the others. Only few responses are there, right? If it is not clear, please let me know, right? I will repeat 1,000 times until you get the idea, right? I just wanted to, the basic thing I wanted to give it to you, right? If you have missed the basic thing, we are done, right? Therefore try to understand, right? The basic thing, basic knowledge I wanted to give clearly for you, right? Therefore try to, if you don't, if you have any question, if you have any doubt, right, please let me know, right? Without knowing the basic thing we can't go further, right? I think you are in the basic level within the first year, right? Therefore if you miss anything, right, it's very difficult for a go in coming years, right? This is the basic language you are going to learn, the Python, right? Okay, and sir, explanation one more please. Sir, explain one more please. It should be singular. What is char? Right, okay, I will come with the char also. Right, I will come with the char and they explain one more please. Sir, at what thing we are going to use char? Right, okay, I will tell it, right? Okay, did I miss it, char? Yeah, I think we missed char. All right, it should be single or English. The explanation should be Sanjana. Can you tell it to me, Pute? Single, hurry. All right, okay. මෙහෙම මොන හරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් අනිවාර්යෙන්ම අහන්න. ඒකේ දෙකක් නැහැ. මම අනිවාර්යෙන්ම ඔයාලට හතර පාරක් පහ පාරක් හරි කියලා දෙනවා. රයිට්? ඒක මතක තියාගන්න. අනිවාර්යෙන්ම මේ ටික ඔළුවට දාගන්න ඕන ඔයාලා අනිවාර්යෙන්ම. හරි. මම දැන් ආයෙත් මේ ටික ඔක්කොම අයින් කරලා මුලින් නම් ආයෙත් එක්ස්ප්ලেইন කරන්න. මොකද්ද මේ වේරියබල් එකක් කියන්නේ ඩේටා ටයිප් එකක් කියන්නේ මොකද්ද කියලා. හරි. එතකොට වේරියබල් එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ මතක තියාගන්න. හරි. අපි දැන් හිතන්නකෝ අපිට කම්පියුටරෙන් 1.1.2 කියලා උත්තරේ ගන්න ඕන කියලා. හරි. 1.1.2 කියලා උත්තරේ ගන්න ඕන. right මොකද්ද? 1.1 නිකන් සිම්පල් මේකක්. හරි. 1.1.2 කියලා මට උත්තරේ ගන්න ඕන. එතකොට 1.1.2 කියලා ගද්දී right මේකට අපි කම්පියුටරේ ඉන්පුට් ගන්නෙ කොහෙන්ද? ඉන්පුට් ගන්න කම්පියුටරේ කීබෝඩ් එකෙන් නේද? අපි කීබෝඩ් එකෙන් ගන්නෙ. අපි කීබෝඩ් එකෙන් ඉන්පුට් ගද්දී right මතක තියාගන්න මේ ගන්න වැලියු එක මේ එක කීබෝඩ් එකෙන් ගන්න එක අපි ප්‍රෙස් කරනවානේ. අපි ප්‍රෙස් කරපුවාම තමයි මේක කම්පියුටරේට දෙන්නේ. හරි. මේ එක අරගෙන right මේ එක අරගෙන අපි එක තැනකට දාන්න ඕන. හරි. මේක දැන් මම අර ඉස්සෙල්ලා කිව්ව වතුර බෝතලයකයි පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ. අපි වතුර දාන්නනේ. ඒ වගේ තමයි. ඒකට මේකේ data දාන්නත් place එකක් ඕන. තැනක් ඕන. right? තැනක් ඕන. දැන් මේ එකත් අරගෙන කම්පියුටරෙන් අරගෙන ඉවරලා දාන්න ඕන. තැනකට දාන්න ඕන. ඒ තැනකට ඒ RAM එකේ හදාගන්න පොඩි ස්පේස් එකකට අපි කියනවා variable එකක් කියලා කියනවා. දැන් වතුර බෝතලය කියලා කියන්නේ වතුර දාන එකටනේ අපි වතුර බෝතලය කියලා කියන්නේ. ඒ වගේම RAM එකේ පොඩි ස්පේස් එකක්. හරි? පොඩි ස්පේස් එකකට අපි කියනවා variable එකක් කියලා කියනවා. අපි හදා ගන්නවා. හරි? variable එකක් හදා ගන්නවා. අපි හදාගන්නේ මෙන්න මේ විදියට. හරි? variable එකක් හදාගන්නේ කොහොමද? මෙන්න මේ විදියට. මේ තියෙන්නේ. මේ විදිහට තමයි අපි variable එකක් හදාගන්නේ. මේ Java වලින් variable එකක් හදාගන්න විදිහ. එතකොට variable එකක් හදාගද්දී අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම තියෙන්න ඕන දේවල් තුනක් තියෙනවා. මොනවද තියෙන්න ඕන? data type එකක් තියෙන්න ඕන. variable name එකක් තියෙන්න ඕන. value එකක් තියෙන්න ඕන. ඒ කියන්නේ මේකට දාන value එක තියෙන්නත් එපා. හරි. එතකොට variable එකක් හදාගද්දී මේ දේවල් ටික තියෙන්න ඕන. හරි. අපි දැන් බලමු variable එකක් හදාගන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා. දැන් ඊට පස්සේ මම ඔයාලට කිව්වේ නෑ data type එක කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා. data type එක කියලා කියන්නේ අපි මේ variable එක හදනවානේ. variable එක හදද්දී අපි කියන්න ඕන මොන විදිහේ dataද අපි මේ variable එකට දාන්නේ කියලා. හරි මොන විදිහේ dataද අපි මේ variable එකට දාන්නේ කියන එක කියන්න ඕන. හරි එතකොට මේ මම variable වර්ග තුනක් කිව්වා. මට මතක විදිහට integer කිව්වා. තව variable වර්ග තියෙනවා ගොඩක්. data type වර්ග ගොඩක් තියෙනවා. float කිව්වා. ආයි string කිව්වා. ආයි තව එකක් කිව්වා char කියලා කිව්වා. හරි එතකොට මේ data type කියලා කියන්නේ අපි මේ variable එක හදන වෙලාවේදී හරි variable එක හදන වෙලාවේදී අපි කියන්න ඕන අපි මොන විදිහේ dataද මේකට දාන්නේ කියලා. ඒක වෙන්න පුළුවන් නමක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක එක character එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. හරි ඒක decimal places තියෙන එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. දශම සංඛ්‍යා තියෙන එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් දශම සංඛ්‍යා නැති එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. හරි අපි හිතමු මේ variable එක හදන වෙලාවේ අපි හදන්න කලින්නේ මං කියන්නේ මේකට දානවා 10 දානවා. හරි 10 දාන්න variable එකක් ඕන මට. හරි නිකන් හිතමු. 10 දාන්න variable එකක් හදද්දි මේකේ අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම මේකේ data type එක මොකද්ද වෙන්න ඕන? අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම මේක data type එක integer වෙන්න ඕන. හරි ඇයි integer වෙන්න ඕන? මේකේ දශම සංඛ්‍යා නැහැ. right? ඔයාලගේ වයස age කියලා variable එකක් හදනවා. age කියලා variable එකක් හදපුවා මේකේ වයස මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ? දශම සංඛ්‍යා 10.5යි මගේ වයස කියලා කියනවද? නෑනේ. කවදාකවත් කියන්නේ. ඒකට integer වෙන්න ඕන. හරි? integer වෙන්න ඕන. හරි ඔයාලා මොන හරි price එකක් මොන හරි මේ variable එකට input කරනවා. හරි එතකොට මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ? අපි දාමු 10.5 කියලා. එතකොට මේකට දාද්දි 10.5 දාද්දි අනිවාර්යෙන් මේක වෙන්න ඕන float එකක් වෙන්න ඕන. හරි? float එකක් වෙන්න ඕන. කියන්නේ මේ variable එක හදන වෙලාවේදී අපි කියන්න ඕන මම මේ මොන විදිහේ data එකක්ද මේකට දාන්නේ. ඉන්නේ කලින් කියලා තියෙන්න ඕන. එහෙම නැත්නම් කම්පියුටරේ දන්නේ නැහැ. හරි? එතකොට 10.5 දානවා නම් අනිවාර්යෙන්ම float වෙන්න ඕන. එතකොට මේකට නමක් දාගන්න ඕන වෙලාවල් තියෙනවා. මගේ නම මොකක් හරි දාන්න. මට දාන්න ඕන Open University ශ්‍රී ලංකා කියලා දාන්න. එතකොට මේක නමක්නේ. එතකොට නමක් දානවා නම් අනිවාර්යෙන් මේක string වෙන්න ඕන. හරි නමක් දානවා නම් string වෙන්න ඕන data type එක. හරි? එතකොට char කියලා එකක් තියෙනවා. මොකද්ද මේ char කියලා කියන්නේ? හරි සමහර වෙලාවල් තියෙනවා gen එකක් දානවා කියලා හිතමු. gen එකක් දාද්දි සමහර වෙලාවල් තියෙනවා f එක වෙන්න විතරයි දාන්නේ. එක char එකක්. හරි එක අකුරක් විතරක් දානවා නම් අපි අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම data type එක char වෙනවා. හරි අපි හිතමු සමහර වෙලාවට එතන at එක විතරක් දාලා තියෙන්න ඕන variable එක. අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ඊට පස්සේ variable type එක at වෙනවා. char වෙනවා. හරි එක අකුරක් විතරක් දානවා නම් char, අකුරු ගොඩක් යනවා නම් string කියලා යනවා. එතකොට මේ ටික තමයි data types කියලා කියන්නේ. මේවට තමයි මොකද්ද කියන්නේ? data types. එතකොට මේ data types දෙන්න ඕන මොකද්ද? variable එකක් හදද්දි මේ කොටුවක් හදද්දි අපි data type එකක් දෙන්න ඕන. ඊට පස්සේ variable name එකක් දෙන්න ඕන, value එක දෙන්න ඕන. හරි මම හදන විදිහ මම කියන්න. හරි variable එකක් හදද්දි ඉස්සරෝම data type එක දෙන්න ඕන. හරි data type එක දුන්නා int කියලා. හරි ඊට පස්සේ number 1 කියලා දුන්නා. හරි ඒකට value එකක් දැම්මා. හරි මේක තමයි මේ විදිහට තමයි variable එකක් හදන්නේ කම්පියුටර් එකේ. හරි කම්පියුටරේ variable එකක් හදන්නේ මේ විදිහට. program එකක් ලියද්දී variable එකක් හදන්නේ මේ විදිහට. data type එකක් තියෙනවා. variable name එකක් තියෙනවා. value එක තියෙනවා. එතකොට මේ ඔයාලට පෙන්නලා තියෙන දේ තමයි මේ වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. මේ බලන්න. එතකොට මේකට variable එකට නමක් දීලා තියෙනවා. මේ කොටුවට නමක් දීලා තියෙනවා. මොකද නම දීලා තියෙන්නේ number 1 කියලා. හරි number 1 කියලා නම දීලා තියෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ data type එකක් දීලා තියෙනවා. මොන විදිහේ data එකක්ද මේක ඇතුලේ තියෙන්නේ කියලා. right මොන විදිහේ data එකක්ද? හරි ඊට පස්සේ මේ equal mark කියලා කියන්නේ මේක ඇතුළට දාන්න කියලා 10. ඉස්සරෝම කියන්නේ variable එකක් හදන්න. හරි ඊට පස්සේ ඒකට ඒ variable එකට int type එකේ variable එකක් හදන්න. ඊට පස්සේ ඒකට 10 දාන්න. හරි ඊට පස්සේ මම char එකක් ගන්නම් ඔයාලට. දැන් char එක මම ඉස්සෙල්ලා කරේ නෑනේ. හරි data type එක char. right gender. right then we have to mention the G F. right this is the char. එතකොට මම මෙතන කියන්නේ char type එකේ හරි එතකොට එක අකුරක් විතරක් දාන්න පුළුවන් variable එකක් හදන්න. ඒ variable එකට gender කියලා නම දෙන්න. ඒකට F දාන්න. මම මෙහෙම කරන්න. හරි variable එකක් හදන්න මොන විදිහද? char විදිහේ. ඊට පස්සේ මේකට නමක් දෙන්න. මොකද නම දුන්නේ? gender. ඊට පස්සේ ඒකට F දාන්න. මේක තමයි data type. මම හිතනවා දැන් නම් clear ඇති කියලා. තව මොන හරි තියෙනවා නම් දැනගන්න. හැබැයි මතක තියාගන්න මේ Java වල හරි මේ Java වල තමයි මේ විදිහට mention කරන්න ඕන. එතකොට Python වල මතක තියාගන්න you don't need to mention the data type. right you don't need to mention the data type. right remember that you don't want to mention the data type. right when we create the variable you don't need to mention the data types. remember that just you need to mention the variable, right, and assign the value. The Python automatically get the data type, right, but you need to know, right, what is the data type, right? That's why I told you when we do the program with the Python you don't need to mention the data type, right? You don't need to mention the data type. Is it clear now? Anything you need to know? Any questions further? Is it clear? Clearly you need to understand, right? What is it clear? I think Sajana and Hironi. Is it clear, Pute? Okay, what about others? Is it clear? Clear, right? All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Just quickly, for a small break, right? Okay, just mention what you have in your qualification, not the regarding the lecture today, right? What are the qualification you have, like HND, like diploma, like BSc and the MSc, like what are the qualification you have now up to this age, right? Just quickly type it. For a change the topic we need to have a break, right? Almost 1.5. What are the qualification you have now? Diploma. What about others? BSc in accounting. Yes, very good. What about others? If you are only you have a level, you can mention is O level. I wanted to know the highest qualification you have. No, A level, right? A level, A level, diploma. MBK for graphic design in MBK 5 diploma in ICT is still ongoing. Yes, very good. A level, A level, A level. Hmm? Right. What about others? Right, just A level, right? Okay, very good. But I wanted to tell you the path, right? You just need to complete your A level, right? The one thing actually you need to complete the A level, right? Then only you can go for a high education, right? At least you need to have a 3 SS, right? If not, you can't get the degree. But nowadays we have different ways, but I am not recommend that ways, right? Without A level, I don't know how they skip. Without A level, I don't know how they can get the degree, right? But my recommendation is complete the A level, right? uh, A level meta front develop and the back development course. Okay, very good. Right, I just wanted to tell you first complete the A level, right? As at least take the 3 SS. If you are selected for a government university, go for that, right? That is very essential, right? If you are selected for a government university, go for that, right? And first thing is you need to get the 3 SS, right? Then complete your diploma, right? Try to finish the HND then, right? I don't know HND or whatever the degree, right? HND and the top up and the whatever the things, right? Somehow try to get the degree, BSc degree, right? I think you are all try to complete the BSc degree, right? You are following now, right? Try to complete the degree, right? This is the only time you have for a study, right? Only I think you have only 3 or 4 more years, right? Therefore, try your best, right? Try your best. Take the degree, right? Then you can go with the after that degree you can go with the PGD level, postgraduate level, right? Then you can complete your MSc, right? That is the path actually. If you have wanted to uh, go with the you if you wanted to follow with the IT background, right? First complete the degree BSc, right? I don't know. I think sometimes you have completed. You may need to complete the HND and the top up and the PGD, right? Postgraduate level after the degree. Then you can go with the MSc, right? Then after that you can go with the you can do the PhD also, right? Don't waste your time, right? Don't waste your time. Try to uh, try to save your time, right? And learn somehow, right? Okay, uh that will go back for a lecture. All right. mm, right, I think it's clear, right? Variable and the data types, right? Okay, now we'll go for uh, one program, right? I think I have a two lecture slide, a day school 2 and the day school 1, right? But I wanted to clearly give the idea about the variable and the data types, right? Okay, I think you need to install the PyCharm, right? Did you install the PyCharm into your computer? Yes or no? Okay, we'll do the small program first, right? Did you PyCharm? Did you install? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, I think you all install the PyCharm. Yes. Okay, I am also like you, right? I did the Chendi and I did the top up and I completed the PGD, right? Then I complete the master level, right? uh, Likewise also you need to go with the that background, that is the actually the way you need to go, right? All right, I think you all install the PyCharm, right? If you are not familiar with the PyCharm, or if you still didn't install the PyCharm, right, you can go with the uh, right online compiler, right? You can go with the online compiler, right? You can go with the w3, right? W3 school Python. I will share the link, right, with you. If you are still didn't install the uh, PyCharm into your computer, right, you can go with the online compiler, right? Online compiler, text editor, right? The all the things we can test with here, right? You just need to type the code in here, then you can run it and you can check the output, right? I recommend for you try to install the PyCharm into your computer, right? You can have a many online compiler, right? You can have a many online compiler, whatever the compiler you want, you can go with that, right? Okay. I will share this link, W3 school. Go with the chat window and paste it, right? Why I can't send it? For all, how can I send it? Everyone in the meeting, right? Okay, all right. Okay, this if you don't have the uh, PyCharm, you can go with this link and you can do the coding, right? Okay, all right. Now I told you, right? I wanted to write a program now. Now I am going to write a program, right? I am going to write a program. All right. I want you to write the small program, right? I want you to write a small program, right? uh 1 plus 1, right? And get the output and display it. I want you to write, right? Then share with me the coding, right? I think you already know, right, how to do it. I want you to write 1 plus 1 and get the output and display it. I will give some time for a first program. It means you need to declare two variable. Declare means creating the variable. Declare කරනවා කියලා කියන්නේ variable එකක් හදනවා කියලා එක. Variable එකක් හදලා value එකක් දාලා output එක පෙන්වන්න. This is the small program, right? You need to get the output. You have to make a two variable, right? And display the two. I think here we have, right? Here we have around 30 students are there, right? Including me, I think 30 participants. It's mean here we have 30, 29, right? Here we have 29 students, right? Try to do it. You can go with the PyCharm, right? If you are not familiar with the PyCharm, please let me know. I will tell you how to download it and how to open the new project. Likewise, I think day school first, okay? Day school 1 you did it, right? Therefore I am not going to do with these small things, right? The things you need to know I will teach you, right? Therefore if you want me to do it, please let me know, right? I can close the this PyCharm and I can tell you how to open the new project. Likewise I can explain it, right? I think you are familiar with the that one, therefore I am not going to do that one, right? All right, okay, just go ahead and do it and share it with me, right? Okay, I will give a 5 minutes, right? I will give the 5 minutes and take a break also, right? Take a break, drink some water and come back. I will give a 5 minutes break, right? 5 minutes break. And if you are repress and after that do this program. I want you to write a program to add 1 plus 1 and you need to get the print, right? You need to display as a total 2, right? Do it. It means you need to assign two variables, right? Assign two values for two variables and add two variables together and you need to get the output as a true, right? Do it and take a small break, right? 5 minutes break and take a breath, take a water, right? Drink some water and refresh and come back, right? Okay, I will give you 5 minutes. Okay, number one equal number one, number two equal, yes, yeah. Mhm. Okay, I will type one program, right? Then you all can get it. All right. Okay. What did you all type? We'll see. Print x and y. Yeah. Okay. This is also good. All right. I will. Uh, okay. Different programmers are using different ways, right? Whatever the method you like, right? You can go with that. I hope you can hear me, right? Can you hear me? Yes, right? Clearly? Okay, thank you. I thought, all right, okay, we'll go that. Right, okay, first thing is we need to have a variable. I told you, if you are when we create the variable small memory location, right? If you are going with the Java, C++, right? Okay, whatever the any other program, right? We have to use the data type as int, right? And the name of the variable, right? Name of the variable. All right, first thing is I told you we have to mention the data type. If I go with the Java or uh, JavaScript, whatever the programming language, C sharp, right? C, we have to mention the data type. And if you are using the Python, right? We are doing the Python, no? Therefore no need to use the data type, right? No need to mention the data type. Okay, I will mention as number one, right? When you declare the variable, right? Remember that when you declare the variable, you can't use the n, right? You can't use the number, right? You can use, right, number, capital N, number. Don't go with that, right? Because variable name, right? Because variable name should start with the simple letter like a number, right? Number one equal 1, this way. This should be like that, right? Don't use with the capital letter, right? Don't use the capital letter. Class name should start with the capital letter, therefore don't go with the uh, capital letters. Then one thing I wanted to tell you, don't keep any space here like this, right? You may think a number one, it is a one word, no, right? Don't think like that, right? Don't keep a space. The variable name should be, right? Variable name should be one word, right? One word, right? Remember that. If you want to keep the space, you can go with the underscore, right? If you want to keep the space, you can go with the underscore, number, underscore, and one. You can go with like that if you want to keep the space, right? Right, this is the number one. It's mean here we create the memory, right? We create the memory small location, right? We create the small location and assign the one variable into number one, right? අපි පොඩි පොටුවක් හදාගත්ත RAM එකේ පොඩි ස්පේස් එකක් ඇයි ඕන data දාගන්න පොඩි ස්පේස් එකක් හදලා ඒකට අපි එක දාලා තියෙනවා. ඒ විදිහට තමයි මේක කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ස්පේස් එකක් හදාවා RAM එකේ පොඩි පෙට්ටියක් කියලා මතක තියාගන්න. පොඩි small location එකක් කියලා, right? ඒකට අපි එක දාලා තියෙනවා, right? Okay, now we need to have another variable, right? Right, like this, right? Like this, right? Here we have a number one and assign the one into one variable, and second one here we have two variables name, right? Space we have now within the memory we have two variables. Within the memory we have a two variable, number one variable and number two variable. And right, then we wanted to add these two numbers together. එතකොට මේ දෙකටම දැන් එක එක දාලා තියෙනවා අපි RAM එක ඇතුලේ මේ දෙක එකට එකතු කරගන්න ඕන, right? එකතු කරගෙන වෙන තැනකට දාන්න ඕන. Here we can use the another variable name like a total, right? Then we can add the number 1 plus, right, number 2, right? This way we can do it, right? You have to remember, right? And we have to print it, right? I will complete this program and I will let you know how did I, right? Okay, and here we can mention the total is, right? Total is and comma, and we have to mention the variable name, right? This is the our program. I will run it and I will show you and I will explain it, right? Okay, you have to use the shift and F10, right? Then you can see the total is 2. Can you see? Here we have a total is 2. You can see, right? Total is 2. Output is 2. Right. Now I will use snipping tool. I will copy this program, right, into paint, and I will try to explain it. Right, this is my program, right, this is my program, right, this is my program. You have to clearly understand it, right? And output also I will copy. What is output? This is the output, right? Output also I will copy. This is the output, right? I will take this output also into the, right, this is my output, right? I will mention is here output, right? Now, okay, if I draw this program, here we have a RAM, right? Here we have a RAM, right? Random access memory. Here we have a RAM, random access memory, right? Within the random access memory, we have how many variables are here? Look at this program and tell me how many variables are there in my program. Look at the program and tell me how many variables are there in my program. Any idea? You can unmute and you can speak, right? Just try to speak. It is totally okay. How many variables are there? 3 variables. What about others? Do we need semicolon? Right. Okay. 3 variables. Right. 3 variables. What about others? Right. I will come to this point first. Right. Do we need a semicolon? Right. Okay. As a programmer, as a developer, right, I am using semicolon here because I used to it, right? When I do the Java program, I use the semicolon here all the times, right? But when you use the Python, you can ignore it if you want it. But if you are doing the programming with the Java, C++, C++, like, you have to use the semicolon, right? You have to use the semicolon. If you don't like to use it, no need to mention it semicolon, but as a habit I am using it, right? You can ignore it, no need, right? Python is very easy, right? Python is very easy. If you wanted to use the semicolon, you can use it. If you don't want to use it, if you don't like to use it, you can ignore it. It's up to you, right? But I am using it because as a programmer I normally use it, right? If you like it, you can use it. If you don't want, you can go ahead, right? Is it not a problem to use it? No, there is a no problem, right? There is a no problem. If you want to use it, you can use it. If you don't like to use it, ignore it, the semicolon. But if you are using the C sharp, or if you are using the Java or something, you can't ignore the semicolon. Each and every statement end with the semicolon within the Java and the C sharp, right? You can't ignore the semicolon. Within the Python, you can ignore it, right? Within the Python, you can ignore it. Here, actually, I think I gave the answer for you, right? I think it's who is that? I think it's yeah, it's okay, Buddha. Naja. Oh, if I pronounce wrongly your name, I am really sorry, right? No, Buddha, because I am also using the put semicolon. It's okay. You can use it. It's okay, right? If you want to use it, you can use it, right? All right. Okay, I will go back to the mm, program, right? Here, right, we have 3 variable, right? 3 variable means number one is a one variable, right? Here we have one variable, right? This is the one variable, right? I have given the name as what? Number one. The variable name is number one, right? Number one, right? I have the variable, I have given the name as number one, right? Variable name is number one. Then I put the value as 1, right? Inside the variable we have a 1, right? Then second one, all right, okay, we'll go for the second one, right? This one, number 2, right? Here we have another variable, right? I have given the name as number 2, right? Number 2, and I have given the name as number 2. and I assign the value. Assign means put the value, right, as 1. Assign means if you have a equal mark, right, remember that you put the value into the variable, right. If you have a equal mark means you are putting the value into the variable. Remember that, right, you are putting the value into the variable. Now, okay, now we have a two variable. We have another variable, total, right. Here we have a total variable, right. It means totally we have three variables. I have a variable name is what? Total, right. Name is total, right. Okay, name is total. Now I have a three variable. All right. Okay, now you can see number one variable here, right. You can see here number one variable. Within the number one variable, when we mention the number one variable here, the representation value, right, inside the variable, what is the inside this variable, what is the value inside this variable? We have a value 1. Remember that, right. Here we have a number 1, right. Here we have a number 1. It's represent the 1, right. Here it represent the 1, right. You can see the variable name, but inside the variable what we have 1. Remember that, right. We have a variable name here, but inside we have 1, right. Inside we have 1. If I come to this number 2, look at here. Here we have a number 2. Inside this variable we have 1, right. Inside the number 1 variable what we have 1, right. You can see only variable name only, but inside this variable we have 1. It's mean 1 plus 1 means what? If I add 1 plus 1, here total value is what? Number 1 variable and number 2 variable add together we have value is 2, right. Value is 2. It means here number 1 we have, here we have number 2, number 1 here, right. Both together what is the value? This side we have a 2, right. This side we have a 2. I told you, if you have a equal mark, what will happen? If you have a equal mark, what will happen? Here this side we have a 2. This 2, right, we put into the, I will use the another color, right. This 2 we put into the this total variable, right. Inside this total variable what we have? We have 2, right. We have a 2, right. We have a 2 now. Remember that. Here we have a total. Within the total variable what we have? Here we have line 2, right. You just need to remember that. Here we have 2. Equal mark means whatever the happen in this side, right, it assign into the this total variable, right. Okay, within the total variable I told you we mentioned the variable name here, but inside this total variable we have what? 2, right. Here we have a 2, right. Here we use the function, print function. This is called as a print function, right. Don't think about the function is what. Likewise, don't think about it when we do the object oriented programming. You can use it, just you can go to know, right. Just remember, right, just remember, if you wanted to display something out, right, we have to go with the print function, right. If you wanted to print something, if you wanted to get some output like a total is 2 or something, right, we have to use the print. එතකොට print කියලා කියන එක පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ මොන හරි output එකක් පෙන්වන්න ඕන නම් මතක තියාගන්න, right. Okay, and here you can see now, right, so within the total variable we have a 2, right. Within the total variable we have a 2. In here, can you see? You can see the total is, where did that come from? Total is 2. Within the print method, I used 2 double quotation, right. Can you see? Here we have one double quotation, right, double quotation, right. Here I use the double quotation, here I use the double quotation, right. Within the double quotation, right, within the double quotation I type the total is, whatever the things you type within the double quotation, it will print as it is, right. This is what happened, right. Whatever the things you type within this double quotation, it will print as is it, right. Total is, right. Can you see? If you type something within the double quotation, it will print as it is as a output within the print statement, within the print method, right? Okay, I told you, here we mention what, here we mention after the colon, after the comma, I use the total. Total means what? Variable name. Variable name is there, but if after we mention the variable name, inside this variable what we have, inside this variable what we have 2, right? Remember that here we have a 2 inside this total variable, we have a 2 that will print. Here we mention that variable name as a output, it will do. Why is that? Because inside this total variable we have a 2, right? Inside this total variable we have a 2. That is how this program works, right? I hope it's clear, right? Clearly, I think, how to declare the variable, how to assign the value to the variable, right? How to add the two variable together, and how can we print the how can we get the print, right? How can we use the print method, and how can we get the output? Likewise, I hope it's clear, right? Do you have anything to ask? So after explaining in PyCharm, if you don't mind, can you please do a example in W3 school also? Okay, I will try to do it, right? I will try to do it, right? Okay, I will try to do it, right? Okay, is it clear, the explanation of this program? Is it clear? I wanted to give something, right? I wanted to give something, that's why I didn't follow the this I follow this one, right? The concept, right? I follow this one, right? The concept I wanted to give it, right? That's why mm, right? If you have any doubt, please tell me, right? Yes, yes, yes. What about others? I will get upset if you are not clear, right? Therefore, please try to get reply, right? Here we have 33. Because I wanted to give something for you, right? If you don't understand, it's my problem, not yours, right? It's my problem, not yours. Right. Okay, we'll go for that then. Right. I think if you don't understand something, it's my problem, not yours, right? I know that, right? Right. Okay. Right, this is how to add the two numbers, right? Okay, now I will clear this one. Okay, I think I wanted to do it in the PyCharm, not the W3 school, right? I will do it, right? Okay, we'll do it. I didn't try it. Okay, I will take num1 equal 10. All right, num2 equal 10 or something, two numbers, right? Okay, we'll print it whether this is work or not. Print, right? N1 plus N2, right? Am I correct? Yes. We'll try to run it whether the output is correct. Yes, we can add it like this. Okay, same thing, same coding we can do with the W3 school, right? Okay, I will do this one also. Okay, you can go. I the here total, I got the total within the print method, right? I got the total within the print method, right? You can get the addition part inside the print method, right? Also you can get the calculation, you can do outside, right? Then you can print it in here. Within this example, I did the calculation outside, right? I did the calculation outside and put the value into the total variable, and I display it, right? I display it within the Python, within the W3 school. What did I make a two variable and I assign the two values, right, into this variable, and I did within the print method, right. මෙන්න මේකට අපි print method එක කියලා කියන්නේ. එතකොට මම variable දෙකක් හදාගත්තා, n1 n2 කියලා variable දෙකක්. ඒ variable දෙකට 10 ඒවා දෙකක් assign කරගත්තා. assign කරගන්නවා කියන්නේ දානවා කියන එක. හරි. assign කරනවා කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? value එකක් දානවා කියන එක. assign කරනවා කියන්නේ value එකක් දානවා කියලා. ඒ කියන්නේ declare කරනවා කියලා කියන්නේ variable එකක් හදා ගන්නවා. variable එකක් හදනවා කියලා කියන්නේ ඔයාලා දන්නවා RAM එකේ පොඩි ස්පේස් එකක් අයින් කරගන්නවා ඔයාලගේ values දාන්න. එතකොට මෙතන පොඩි n1 කියලා පොඩි ස්පේස් එකක් තියෙනවා. පොඩි ඔයාලට වතුර බෝතලයක් වගේ කියලා හිතාගන්න. පොඩි පෙට්ටියක් වගේ කියලා හිතාගන්න. ඒකට values දෙකක් දාලා තියෙනවා. 10ක් දාලා තියෙනවා. මේකට තව 10ක් දාලා තියෙනවා. එතකොට මෙතන තියෙනවා number 1 කියලායි number 2 කියලායි දෙකක් තියෙනවා. හරි. ඊට පස්සේ මේ values දෙක පළවෙනි variable එකේ 10 තියෙනවා. දෙවෙනි variable එකේ 10 තියෙනවා. අපිට වෙන value එකක් දාන්න පුළුවන්. අපි 20 දාමු. හරි. ඊට පස්සේ මේ දෙක එකතු කරලා තියෙන්නේ මේ print method එකේ. අපි ඔයාලට පුළුවන් මේ විදිහට කරන්නත් පුළුවන්, එළියේ calculation එක කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් print method එක ඇතුලේ calculation එක කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. ඒක කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. මෙතන ඇතුලේම දාමු total is කියලා. if you mention, එතකොට මේ total is ඔයාලට පුළුවන් ඒ print method එකේම double quotation දාලා double quotation කියලා තියෙන මේ උඩින් දාන කැලි දෙක double quotation. මේකට අපි කියන්නේ double quotation කියලා. මේ උඩින් දාලා තියෙන පොඩි කැලි දෙක සිංහලෙන් මොකක් කියනවද දන්න? උතුළුත හරි මොකක් හරි කියලා කියන්නේ. මම දන්නේ. මේ double quotation කියලා කියන්නේ මේ double quotation වල මේ උඩට දාන එකට ඒව ඒ දෙකක් දාගෙන මේක අන්ත අපි type කරනවා. හරි මේ total is, right, total is කියලා අපි මොන දේ type කරත් double quotation එකක් ඇතුලේ ඒක ඒ විදිහටම print වෙනවා. රන් කරලා බලමු. total is කියලාම print වෙනවා. බලමු. yes, total is. දැන් ඔයාලා මම හිතන්නේ දැන් ඔයාලා මේක බලන්න මම මෙතන දානවා මගේ නම පුබුදු කියලා දානවා. right, පුබුදු කියලා දානවා. පුබුදු කියලා run කරලා බලන්න. පුබුදු is 30 කියලා වැටෙයි මෙතන. display වෙයි. මේ පුබුදු 30. එතකොට ඔයාලා මතක තියාගන්න මේ double quotation එක ඇතුලේ මොන දෙයක් දැම්මත් ඒක මේ විදිහටම print වෙනවා කියන එක. total is කියලා දැම්මොත් ඒක ඒ විදිහටම print වෙනවා. right, මෙතනින් අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම කමා දා ගන්න ඕන. හරි, කමා දාලා ඒ වැඩේ කරා. මම හිතනවා මම අර දුවටත් උත්තරේ හරියට දුන්නා කියලා. කරලා පෙන්නන්න කියලා කිව්වේ කවුද? මේ කහලා තිබ්බ නේද මගේ වැරද්ද? yes, ඉරුනි. මගේ ඔයාගේ හරිද පුතා? තව මොනවා හරි කියලා දෙන්න තියෙනවද? yes, okay, thank you. right, okay. all right, okay, I think same thing, right? You can do with the same thing, right? If you can't install the PyCharm, you can go with the this W3 school online, right? Then you can do it, right? Okay, now I will give some okay, try to do this one using PyCharm, right? Okay, I want you to display, right? I will clear this one. If you have any doubt, you can ask me, right? We'll go this way, right? Okay, I have numbers. All right, I have numbers like this 10 and 10 and 30 and 690, right? Okay, do the calculation using PyCharm or W3 school and give me the answer. Can you copy this using a snipping tool like this, and can you share it too? Can we do it? Yes, we can share it this way. Yeah, you can do it this way. Okay, try to share this with this way, right? No need to type it again, right? Use the snipping tool here. This is called as snipping tool, right? This one, right? This is called as snipping tool, right? Snipping tool, use the snipping tool and copy the things you want, right? This way, right? And directly you can put into the chat here. You can use the control V, right? Use the control V and share it like that. You can do it. How we call it? Snipping tool, right? Snipping tool. Try it like that. I want you to add what is that? Four numbers: 10, 10, 30, and 90. Okay, how many variables do we need for this one? Okay, go ahead and do it. If my explanation is not clear, please let me know, right? I can repeat it 1,000 times until you get understand, right? Therefore, please ask me whatever the language you want, please let me know. I just wanted to give something, right? මට කොහමරි ඔයාලට මොනවා හරි දෙයක් දෙන්න ඕන, right? ඉගෙන ගන්න, right? එයා කියන නිසා අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම මේ මොනවා හරි ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න මගේ. කේස් එකක් නැහැ. කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ, right? You are around the Sri Lanka, right? Some are in the Anuradhapura, someone in the Ratnapura, Kandy, Meegamu, right? I wanted to make a friendship actually, right? Shall we make a WhatsApp group? If one of you can make a group or something, right? Then we can join with that link, right? WhatsApp group link. I don't know. Next week you will go to the another classroom or something. But by the way, we have a lot of student here, right? Around the, it's been, I told you, right? Different locations, right? Very important. We can make the friendship. I'm waiting for you. Okay, we'll check it. Right. Okay, only how many replies? Right. Okay, what about others? Try to do it. It's okay, take a time. Here we have four. One is missing, I think, Lamai. Nandan, I think one is missing. Puta X, Y, Z is there. One is missing.
No, sir. X repeat
X
2 times.
repeat. Okay, okay, okay. X repeat 2 times. It's okay. It's also totally okay. You guys think in different way, yes? Right. Very good. Okay. Isuru, can you create the group? You can create the group and share the link with here, right? Then others can log in, right? Yes, very good. This is also good. Right. Isuru, here you missed the total. No, no, no. It's okay. Total number one, number two. Like, okay. Like this also you can do it. Yes, very good. All right. Okay. Let's move into the another things. Right. Okay. Okay. Now here you assign the value within the ID. Right. In here you assign the value. How can we get the input from the keyboard? It's mean when the program run. That's the point. Right. Okay, you wanted to get the two numbers, right? I will tell you, right? uh, if I mention here as input, and if I mention here enter, am I correct? Yes, enter. What did I enter? First value, right? Enter first value. First value, first number, right? We'll go for a number, right? Enter first number, right? Second time, second, within the second variable I am going to mention input, right? And here I am going to mention enter second value number. All right. Okay, now if I run this program, right, look at here, what did I do? Right here I did, right, I create the variable, two variable, number one variable and number two variable, right? Now here I mention equal mark, right? Here I mention the equal mark, and here I use the another method, right? Another method. This is input method, right? Don't think about the method, right? Just remember that input, right? Here we have input and open bracket and close bracket, right? Within the open bracket and close bracket, I mention the two double quotation here. Here, this is the starting double quotation, this is the closing double quotation. Within the double quotation, right? Within the double quotation, I mention enter first name, first number, and enter second number. It's mean actually when we run this program, right? When we run this program, right? I will run the program, right? See, can you see here? When we run this program, right? Enter first number and computer is waiting until we give the number, right? Until we give the number, computer is waiting. I gave the number as 2, right? Okay, I will give as a 15, right? I gave the number as 15. It means if I use the input, right? If I use the input, computer is waiting. Computer is waiting until we give the input to the computer. After that, after I click on the enter button, right? After I click on the enter button, what will happen is this 15. Here you can see the 15, right? Here we have a 15. Take this 15 and put into the number one variable, right? It take from the keyboard, right? It take from the keyboard. Here can you see I type the 15, right? I type the 15. This 15 take from the keyboard and assign into the number one variable. ඒ කියන්නේ මෙතන මම type කරපු 15 මෙතනින් අරගෙන ගිහිල්ලා මේ number 1 කියන variable එකට දානවා. මේ box එකට දානවා. ඒක තමයි එතන වෙන්නේ, right? If I type here 20, right? If I type here 20 and if I click on the enter button, right, what will happen is, right, take the 20, right, take the 20 and put into the this number 2 variable, right? Within the number 2 variable, now what is the value we have? Within the number 2 variable we have a 20. Within the number 1 variable we have a 15, right? Okay, now again I am going to run this program, right? Okay, now you just need to tell me, right? I'm not telling the values, right? Look at the my coding and tell me what are the values we have within the two variables now, right? Okay, I enter two values, right? I wanted to know now, right, what is the value inside the number 1 variable, what is the value inside the number 2 variable. Tell me, just type it quickly. Within the number 1 variable what we have, within the number 2 variable what we have, just tell me. Okay, I think you can hear me, right? There's a power cut, right? I lost my internet connection. All right, can you hear me? I think you can hear me, right? Am I audible enough for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm really sorry. Sometimes uh, my power backup, I don't think it will enough for a half an hour, right? If I suddenly disappear, right, wait until 5 minutes or 10 minutes, right, then leave the meeting, right? We can continue within the next week, right? If I miss in 5 minutes, right? Okay, we'll continue. All right, okay, give me the answers for this one. What is the values inside the number 1 and the number 2 now? Any idea? Okay, just type here quickly. Here we have WhatsApp group, right? Okay, thank you. I will keep it. The others can also join, right? Right, what is the value? Here we have inside. Okay, we can check it, right? We can check it we can use the print, right? Print, and we can check what are the values, right? Number, right? Number 1 variable. Okay, right, keep a space and comma number 2 variable, right? Okay, now we can check what are the value inside the variable, right? I will run the program. We'll see. Shift 10 F10. Right, okay, now look at here, right? I'm going to enter first number, right? I'm going to enter 10, right? Within the first variable I enter 10, within the second variable I enter 30, right? Now can you see output here we have a 10, and output, it means the variable 2 we have a 30, right? You may confuse, right, what is happening here now. Okay, I will show you. Right, now I am going to give some two values. I am going to take the two values from the keyboard, right? I am going to take the two values when the program run. මේක කරන්න යන්නේ program එක run වෙන වෙලාවෙදී values දෙකක් ගන්න යන්නේ, right? You just need to remember when the program run, I am going to take the values, right? When the program run, I am going to take the uh, value, right? Remember that, right? Okay, now I'm going to use the another variable as total, right? Total equal, right, number 1 plus number 2, right? Okay, okay, same thing. You just need to think about these two things, right? What is happening here? Why do we use the input function, right? Why do we use the input function? You just need to remember that, right? Okay, now I am going to display it. Total is, right, we need to have a, right, total is, right, plus total, right? Now look at the coding. All right, now look at the coding and we'll check the output. right? Now, okay, now I am going to enter the first number, right? I am going to enter first number as 2, right? This is now program is running, right? Now program is running. In the previous example, what we did, we declare the variable and assign the value in that time within the coding, right? Within the coding we assign the values also. Now we are going to take the value when the program run, right? Now we are program is now running. Okay, when the program running, I am going to take the different values, right? Now enter first number, right? I enter it. Now I am going to enter as a second number 4. If I enter, can you see what is happening here? Here, can you see why 24 here? Can you tell me why 24 here? Why 24 here? We need to get the what is value? 6. No, any idea? Any idea? Any idea? Tell me, why did I get the 24? Here, can you see? 10 plus 10. Here we have a 10 and 10 both together. What is that? We need a calculation, right? You just need to find it, right? You just need to find it. Why is that? We have answers. There is a A. There is a A. Where is a A? You just need to find it, right? You just need to find it. Why is that? Right, here we have a 10. We are going to take the, this is the homework, right? This is the homework. I am going to give it to you, right? We are taking the value from here, right? We are going to take the value from here and assign into the number 1 variable, right? And another variable, we have a number 2 variable, and take the value from here and assign here, right? And when I try to print it, right, here we display 10 and 10. I wanted to know why is that, right? You just need to find it. This is the exercise I am going to give it to you, right? Okay, just find it. What is that? Quickly. මෙතන මම මොකද කරේ? මෙතන දැන් ඉස්සෙල්ලා කරේ මෙතනින් දැම්ම මම මොකද කරේ? 10 හරි මොකක් හරි value එක assign කරගත්තා මේ variable එකට. එහෙමනේ කරේ. මොකද කරේ? මෙතනට මෙහෙම value එක assign කරගත්තා. 10 හරි 20 හරි මොකක් හරි. හරි? එහෙමනේ මම assign කරේ. වැලියු එකක් එහෙම assign කරා. දැන් මෙතන input කියන එකක් පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ. input කියන එකක් පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ මේ program එක run වෙන වෙලාවේදී input එකක් ගන්න. right? program එක run වෙන වෙලාවේදී input එකක් ගන්න තමයි මේ input කියන method එක පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ. මේකට අපි කියන්නේ input method එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ. input method එක. නැත්නම් input function කියලාත් කියනවා. input function කියන්න පුළුවන්, input method කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. මේක පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ program එක run වෙන වෙලාවේදී input එකක් ගන්න. කලින් මොකද්ද කරේ? මේක මම delete කරලා දාන්න. හරි, මම පළවෙනි එක delete කරන්න. මේක අයින් කරමු මෙහෙම කරලා. මෙතන මොකද කරේ? මෙහෙම 10 දැම්මා කෙලින්ම value එක. කෙලින්ම value එකක් in variable එකට assign කරපු දෙයක් කරේ. හරි? දැන් එහෙම assign කරන්න නැතුව මම මේ කරන්න යන්නේ input එකක් ගන්න යන්නේ keyboard එකේ. මට පුළුවන් නම් ඔයලා කියන්න ඇයි මේ 10 10 උනේ කියන එක. You can use the refer the internet or whatever the things and tell me why is that. Okay, share the coding with me. I want to get the output as 10 20, right? Okay, I am getting the answers. Sir, can you show us in W3 in his school? Same coding lamai. මේ coding එකම ඔයාලා අරක print කරන්න මේ type කරන්න. Same thing. Okay, I will type it. This one. Here. What is that? W3. Right. Okay. Okay. Input. Right. Not the input. We'll type it number. You guys need to find it, right? Others, find it. Number 1 equal input, right? Open bracket and close bracket. Here we can mention enter first number, right? And the number 2 equal input, open bracket, close bracket, and enter second, not the send, second number. Right. Okay. Right. Okay, then we'll add these together. Right. Okay. Total equal number 1 plus number 2. Right. Then print it. Print open bracket, close bracket, and total is I have given the work for you, right? Others, try to do it within the Python. Output is 10 plus 10. Okay, total. Okay, we'll run the coding. Yeah, I think within this one we can't get the input using W3 is good. We'll go for another compiler. Yes, go with this one. Yes, this is working. This is working fine. Okay, I will enter 10 here. Second number. Yes, this is working. I will share this online compiler. If you are, we can't get the input from the, if I use in the W3 is good, right? Here we have error, right? Here we have error, right? Here we have error. I will share it. Chat. Use this one also, right? This one takes some errors when I run it. Here, when I run it, it will show some errors, right? Therefore I go with this one online compiler. It's work fine. Okay, I will give some example, right? This is a number, right? Here we have a number, right? If I mention here enter your, I will delete this one, enter your name, right? Enter your name, right? And after we enter the name, right, you can print it. Print, we can get the name from the input and we can display it. Your name is, right, a comma, number 1, not the number 1. Here we main name will name, right? Variable name will change as name. It is not good here. Not, this is not the number now, right? Here we'll put as a name, right? Okay, see, Look at the coding, right? Using input function, right? Using input function, I am going to take the name, right? Using input function, I am going to take the name, right? Using input function, I am going to take the name and assign it to the name variable, right? Take the input and assign into the name variable, right? And within the name variable we have a name, right? Within the name variable we have a name. After we enter it, right, still we didn't enter the any values, right? Then we can print it, right? We'll see if I run it, right? Enter your name. Can you see? Enter your name, right? I will keep some space here. Right, enter your name, right? Enter your name. Now I am going to enter my name. I am going to enter pubudu, right? I am going to enter as a pubudu, right? Now here I type, no, here I type my name, right? This input function, right, this input function take this pubudu, right, take this pubudu and put into the name variable, right? Put into the name variable. Within the name variable, right, within the name variable we have what? We have, within the name variable we have now pubudu, right? Within the name variable we have pubudu. And when we run it, when we run this program, you can see the name here, right? Okay, see now, right? I am going to enter it, right? I am going to hit the enter. Now see, your name is pubudu, right? Your name is pubudu. In here actually what happened is we are going to take the value from the keyboard and put into the name variable, right? Within the name variable we have a value, right? We have a value, then we are going to print it, right? Okay, now look at this coding, right? Here we did some coding. No, you need to find it, right? I am not going to do it, right? All the things I did today, right? You need to find it. Why can't we get the total here? So can you give us a recording of this session, as I think you are the best than other breakout room? Okay, I can give the recording, right? I can give the recording, right? I can give the recording. Don't compare with others, right? Don't compare with others. Others also good, right? Lamai, don't compare with others, right? Don't compare with others. I can share the recording, right? Don't do it, right? Don't do it. It's not good, nay, right? Therefore don't do it, right? I have no word. Okay, thank you very much, by the way, right? Thank you very much. All right, okay. Because day school 1 I didn't do the, right? Okay, I think this is the, you can consider this is as a day school 1, right? I will share the day school 2, right? Not my lecture, all right? But other, I think we have okay, I will can you send me that link again, the WhatsApp group? I think I can share it with you. I will join this WhatsApp group and I will share the things with you, right? Okay, okay, we'll go for a lecture, right? You are confusing us, me, right? Right. Right, okay, just tell me what is the error here. Okay, I will give some time, right? They can find it. Yeah, this recording, this one is also recording, right? No need to worry about it. 2.5 hours recording. Okay, right here we have some answers. Okay, you guys try this coding and tell me whether this is work or not. So we have to define the input variable as integer. Yes, if not, what will happen? This is the correct answer, right? If not, what will happen is computer think it as a string value, right? We have to convert it, right? Int, right? We'll use it. Others, what are the suggestion you have? Uta, sometimes I will suddenly miss, right? Here, this is the 32, right? 32 remaining, right? 32 remaining. My battery, right? Sometimes I will disappear, right? You can leave the meeting, right? If I leave the meeting, right? Suddenly, I will do the class until the battery dead, right? I'm not saying goodbye, right? We'll do the until uh, laptop dead, right? If I leave, you can leave, right? I think I can't come back again, right? Totally. What about others? Yeah, same answers. Have to use int. Yeah. So we have defined the input variable as integer. Okay. Okay. Your suggestion is you guys telling me to use the int, right? And open bracket and close the bracket. All right. Okay. Any other suggestions? Okay, we'll use it same as like that. And here we have to use the two bracket, right? Here we have to use the int, right? We'll check the output, right? Enter first number, I'm going to enter 10, right? Enter second number, I'm going to enter 10. The total is 20, right? I will tell you what happening is, right? Very good for others for giving the answers, right? I will tell you, right? uh, I told you the data type, right? I told you the data type. Why did I tell you the data type first? I'm on data type කියන එක පළවෙනියෙන්ම කියලා දුන්නේ මෙන්න මේ වගේ දේවල් නිසා, right? If I didn't mention the int and the double and the everything, float and the everything, you don't know what we mentioned here, right? We don't know, we don't need to mention the data type here as a programming language, other programming language, right? When we do the C# JavaScript, like we have to mention the data type, right?